Hello and welcome to the Wet Palette Podcast. Today's episode is a special one. I am joined once again by David Whitaker, President and CEO of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. The last time David was here, Miami was freshly crowned Bon Appetit's Food City of the Year and just embarking on its Michelin Guide journey. Fast forward to now, and so much has evolved. Michelin has renewed its partnership with Florida, Miami claimed a James Beard Award win, and our dining scene continues to buzz with both exciting openings and challenging closures. We'll talk Michelin then versus now, what those awards mean for Miami's global reputation, how local programs like Miami Spice are supporting restaurants, and where our dining scene is heading as we move into season. So grab a glass of wine or coffee and settle in. You won't want to miss this conversation. David, welcome back.
It's great to see you.
Same here.
I need to do this later in the day so we can have a nice Pinot Noir next time.
Yes. Ooh, Brandy. Let's do that. Since our last conversation, for those of you who want to listen to that one as well, it was Season 2, Episode 25. How would you describe Miami's dining landscape right now compared to a few years ago? What feels different, if anything?
Well, first of all, great having this chance. Thank you for having us back on. I love your podcast.
Yeah.
Big fan of the work you do. And you're a good luck charm. You know, right before we came on last time, we were just named by Bon Appetit magazine as the Food City of the Year. And so just as we were coming on to do this today, 2 days ago, Travel and Leisure magazine just proclaimed Miami as the Food City of North America, the #1 food city destination in the country.
I think I have a slide of that.
So you're our good luck charm.
Yes. Let's continue that tradition.
But to your question, you know, what has transpired, obviously it's just more of the same, right? When we last gathered, you know, we had just launched the Michelin partnership, and it has proven to be a great investment in paying dividends, right? I don't think the recognition is the only thing. I think you and your listeners know that they'll see a Michelin-starred restaurant, but there's dozens and dozens of capable restaurants that could easily have earned or will in the future earn. Mm-hmm. And so I think the Ring of Honor is bigger than just the 17 that get the star or the gourmet.
I like that,
or
the Ring of Honor.
Right? But what it is it's celebrating Miami cuisine. It's celebrating our chefs. It's celebrating the creativity. It's celebrating the lifestyle and the desire to have the best. And that fits right up our strategy of being a very high-profile destination. We're not a discount destination by any means. Restaurants aren't inexpensive here as well, even though you can get a great off the beaten path or that favorite hole-in-the-wall restaurant or a great, you know, oceanside, dockside restaurant. But fine dining is part of people's lifestyle, and we are what we consume. So when you go traveling, you want to stay in a beautiful, opulent hotel. You want to go shopping in a beautiful, opulent shopping area, district, and you want to eat in a beautiful, opulent restaurant with great food. You want to show off. You know, you take a picture of the food, you post it, I'm here in Miami, and it says something about you. And food is synonymous with lifestyle. And it's more important than ever to have really good food because the competition is so fierce.
It is fierce. You just reminded me, we also just got the Michelin Key, which just debuted, and we have a few hotels.
Right.
I don't know how many of those. I didn't look that up.
But it's a platform, right? You're an expert at that, but it's a platform to build on. It's a storytelling platform. It's more than just the restaurant and the menu. It's the destination. It's the influences of our cultures. It's the celebrities of the chefs. It's the architecture sometimes of the restaurant. It's the neighborhood it's in. Look at Wynwood. Who would have imagined in our lifetime that Wynwood would, well, for some of your younger audiences, they're like, sure, Wynwood. But who would have imagined that Wynwood would be one of the top, you know, dining districts in South Florida?
So what do you think is needed now to defend, in a way, or maintain that level of national attention, which apparently we keep getting? So we're doing something right.
Well, #1 never gets old, but it's also like kind of almost like sports. And I'll use a sports analogy. I'll apologize for the non-sports fan. One year a football coach and you go 10-1 or 11-0 and you win a championship, you can't the next year be 7-5. You'll be a former football coach. So once we get to the top, you know, building out of adversity, and Miami's had its adverse moments over the years, whether it was recovering from Hurricane Andrew or Zika decades ago, or economic collapses,
COVID, everything.
9/11, what have you, right? Building from adversity is easy because you're rebuilding and you have nothing,
Nowhere to go but up.
Nowhere to go but up. once you get to the top, managing success is much harder than building to success. And so now we have the opportunity, but really the privilege of maintaining our leading position as a major destination. We're going to finish this year third highest occupancy in the country, behind only New York and the Big Island in Hawaii. More importantly, equally importantly, third highest average daily rate, because you could sell every room for $49 a night. But we are not an inexpensive destination. That's why the cuisine platform is so important to us. That's why, because you don't want someone who's coming here to get a good value and a good deal, even though we welcome everyone and there's opportunities for that. You want persons that want to invest in a great experience that defines who they are and what they want to do when they're having fun. And there's nothing more thrilling than, we're in this award-winning restaurant. We got a table, and look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm cool. I'm eating in one of the best restaurants. And I have the privilege and blessing of being in one of the best restaurants in the country. It says something about you. We are what we consume. And so now we just have to maintain it. What's equally challenging is the challenges that are facing our restaurant community. I'm so proud of our restaurant community, but they are the hardest working men and women that we have. Food costs are going up. Their rent is probably going up. Labor costs are going up. And so on top of all that, third-party delivery takes away, when you order Uber Eats, we love Uber Eats, but you don't buy a bottle of wine, right? So there's profit being lost in home delivery. And so restaurants have to redefine their cost structure and still remain competitive and put on the table an amazing meal. But some of the things they do that are so amazing and imaginative is farm to table. There's a cost effectiveness to farm to table that's equally as important as the sustainability initiative, right? Chefs are so creative with their flavors and their spices. They know how to put on a great experience. But it's incumbent on all of us to continue to support our chefs. We can't take them for granted. That favorite restaurant that you haven't been to in 3 years, right, listeners? That favorite restaurant you haven't been to in 3 years, they need you. And it's incumbent on us, if we want to continue to have these amazing assets, we have to frequent them and support them.
Yeah, and actually the farm to table is limiting as well for the chefs because there's only so many farms.
Exactly.
And I've actually talked to some chefs who are they've kind of joked on the side, well, yeah, I don't have access to that one. So some are a little bit more, I guess, prime than others, and there's a little bit of that. It's not as easily accessible to all the chefs. But that's the ones that can. It's absolutely amazing. But I agree with you wholeheartedly. We need to get out there and support our mom and pops and our locals. And
I know you were going to get to it, but that's why we love the Miami Spice program, right?
Yeah.
Because it is a chance for a bit of a value, but a chance for people to discover new places because they know it's going to have a specially prepared meal, and they also know it's the slow period of the summer. Mm-hmm. So the Miami Spice program has been a savior for many of our restaurants, we're told. It's also a great celebration. They get very competitive with their creative menus, the prefix menu. We had a record 387 restaurants participating in every nook and cranny of the county. That's great because we're promoting our neighborhoods and our unique cultures of the neighborhoods. We had over 7 million visits to our Miami Spice landing page. 7 million visits. And those are people looking.
Would you say that's a record? Or?
Yes.
Yeah?
But, it's just people love celebrating food. It's so synonymous with our brand.
It is, especially after such a brutal summer that we had. So to see, I guess, promote the promotion and getting diners out there.
Well, that's why we started the program decades ago, right? It is 25 years next year. You were just a baby back then.
Oh, sure.
But we do it in August and September as opposed to doing it in March and April.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of, let's go back to, because we are going to get a little more deep dive into the spice later, but going back to Michelin first, which is something my audience loves to hear about. When they first came to Florida, what were the expectations and even doubts that were encountered?
Well, I mean, the judging of Michelin is pretty intense, and there were some amazing restaurants that didn't quite get that recognition, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to respect the discretion of the judges and what the high standards they're looking for. And again, that's a good thing because that just creates a competitive.
I do tell everyone that you can't give it to everyone at once.
Exactly.
You cannot debut a guide, and then put 51 stars, and then what are you going to do the following year?
Exactly.
Just keep renewing. How
right.
exciting is that? It's not exciting.
So there was that piece. I mean, again, speaking of competitive, we're quite proud.
Mm-hmm.
We try to be humble, but we're quite proud that of all the Florida participants,
Mm-hmm.
we dominated, of course. Tampa and Orlando are wonderful destinations, and they had some winners, a few winners. But we're incredibly proud of, the literally almost 24 winners that we have. But Miami should be a leading restaurant destination in the state of Florida, and we are. But we're pleased with how the program has evolved. And like I said, even in the article that Travel and Leisure did, they referenced, because Michelin is like a seal of approval. It's like a gold standard.
Love them or hate them, it
right?
is. Yeah.
And so that just brings additional attention. We love it when the awards come out, the great anticipation, but nothing to me is more fulfilling. And you were with me when a chef gets that award and they're in tears coming on that stage. They're in tears because they've worked so hard to get to that point. They probably started low on the totem pole in the back. Then maybe they became a sous chef. Then they got some investors and they had to take that risk personally and professionally to go out on their own. And then they've made it and they've been recognized by their peers. That's so fulfilling and so rewarding. But it just proves the nature of the industry. And we love those stories, right? We love that out of nowhere chef who becomes a superstar because of his or her skills.
Yeah, those were amazing. So you'd say that the doubts encountered is almost not being able to please everyone and
or just the integrity and quite frankly the integrity of the program. If Popeyes ever wins a Michelin star, we've got some thinking to do.
No,
no disrespect to
no
Popeyes.
We love you, Popeyes. We love you.
I'm going to get a call from Popeyes.
Hey, Popeyes, would you like to be a sponsor of the White Palette Podcast?
I'm going to get a nasty email from Popeyes.
No, actually, I just interviewed.
By the way, Popeyes has the best fried okra in the
really?
world. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
The best fried okra in the world by far.
I will tag you if I have it. I interviewed Apocalypse Barbecue on Tuesday here, and so we were talking about the Michelin Guide, and it's just barbecue. But before my interview, I did a whole deep dive into Texas barbecue, and 3 spots in Texas, I think 3 or 4, got stars. And I'm looking at the photos, and I'm thinking, why can't we have a star for barbecue?
Exactly.
So it was, but it threw me off because that's not what I think of when I think maybe a bib, because it's a little more price effective, cost effective, and I don't know. But now I'm thinking a little differently. Like, okay, well, if Texas has barbecue spots, why not Miami?
Sure.
So you never know.
Well, and these things sometimes become trends. I mean, obviously, look at all the Asian infused Asian fusion, and it's so delightful. It looks so great on the plate. It tastes so delicious.
That's my favorite.
Right? And look at there's a significant number of winners that are in that cuisine category, right?
Nationwide.
Right,
usually.
nationwide.
So is there any, can you walk us through benchmarks or metrics from year 1 until now?
Just maintaining excellence, and growing. It's gone from, I think, 12 the first year or 13 or 14 the first year to 17. I think to your point earlier, the Bib Gourmand and the other, it's not just the Michelin star or the 2-star restaurant.
Right, they have the recognized, and then there's the Bib, which is a better price.
Up and coming.
Reach.
Now they're doing green, Stubborn
green.
Seed.
I know.
That chef, Jeremy Ford, God bless him, he got the Sustainability Award.
Amazing. And he's starting, he will be starting soon, his Ford's Farms dinners. So guests will be able to go to his farm and sit very much like Patel, like Rancho Patel does of ghee, and sit in the farm, long communal table, and experience everything.
That's our next podcast. That's where we're going to be.
There. After Palm Island, Little Palm Island. So you previously mentioned Michelin would put Miami on the map for food tourism. Looking at today, are there neighborhoods or types of restaurants still underserved in coverage, you think?
Well, I think, kind of maybe a different way to answer that question is you always look at what's the up and coming. Because visitors are like us, tourists, locals. They want to go to the off the beaten, newly discovered, right? So Alapata is now getting a lot of attention. A handful of restaurants that have really been breakthrough restaurants there. And that's just an extension of Wynwood and the design district, right? Look at a destination like Coconut Grove. It was hot. It wasn't. It was hot. It wasn't. It's never been hotter today, right?
They're doing good.
And restaurants are leading the pack. But even our Coconut Grove hotels are doing quite well. So it's just, again, people, you watch those trends. Homestead has some amazing off-the-beaten-path places. One day in our lifetime, we'll be sitting here talking about all the cool restaurants in Hialeah. One day.
I keep saying that. I grew up in Hialeah.
Okay.
So I keep saying, I have chef friends, they want to invest, and I keep saying, you need to invest in Hialeah. It's hot. I agree with you. And I do once in a while if I'm
Look
in
at
the area.
Doral. I mean, look at Doral.
too.
Doral's probably the best example of a destination that was a
doing
bedroom
great.
community or a warehouse community.
Yeah.
And now it's a destination to itself.
Yeah.
An amazing restaurant scene in some of those special districts that they've created.
They're doing great. Sometimes I'm just driving around and I'm thinking, I see buildings that are abandoned or something. I'm thinking, that would make a great restaurant. Or this little corner, I could see the potential here.
Sure.
You could put parking here. Like, I could envision it. And, having grown up there, I'm all in, and I agree with you.
I mean, I was driving to Sonny's the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Love Sonny's, and it's such an award-winning place.
Yeah.
And there on the corner is an abandoned gas station that's being gutted and refurbished. It's going to be a barbecue.
Ah, I saw that.
Yeah, so I don't
They
know
have
the
a
name
huge
per se.
black banner in the
Right.
front.
But
I forgot the name, yeah.
That's what it's all about, taking an abandoned gas station and making it a restaurant.
I was trying to
That's the
remember name
perfect
of that.
example of the vibe, the ambiance, the destination.
Changing it up.
And changing it up.
I like when they change it up, but they keep the personality, which is what you're saying,
Exactly.
of the area. So would you say there have been ripple effects beyond restaurants to hotels, event, nightlife, or off-season traffic because of this?
Speaking of hotels, some of our hotels have award-winning restaurants.
Of course, yeah.
And so they have joined the game, if you will, as well as rooftop bars, which are kind of an extension of the restaurant scene, and that's really taken off here in Miami. And in other destinations as well. Everybody wants to get to that rooftop now after dinner, and obviously, especially when the weather is perfect. So the cuisine experience extends well beyond just the four walls of any local restaurant. It does become a lifestyle brand for the destination.
We're certainly hot for that. Of course, Michelin isn't the only one making waves. Let's talk about another big one. We had a major moment this year with Itamae's Chef Nando Chang winning. Again, significant for Miami. Yes.
Well, James Beard, that's another
That was a big get.
seal of approval, the buzz that creates, the notoriety that creates. Again, a very high level of judging, peer-to-peer review. That's what it's all about.
Really is. That was very special. Does the GMCVB play a role in supporting Miami chefs to gain national visibility?
Absolutely. I mean, and it's symbiotic. It's a hand-in-hand relationship. We'll bring a travel writer, a food writer, a lifestyle writer in, an influencer, a journalist, a blogger, an influencer. They'll be our guest. It must be fun to be one of you because everybody wants to have you in their restaurant, right?
They do,
Right.
But I don't like being recognized.
I got you. But we fly them in, and we make sure that they have a great experience. And of course, we work with the restaurants to organize so they get a chance to have a great meal, meet the chef, do an interview. Mm-hmm. And so that generates, millions of dollars of publicity, earned media publicity and awareness. Our social media platforms, Visit Miami, our LinkedIn and Instagram account, and our Facebook. There's not a day that goes by there's not a story, a content piece about food and the experience of the destination.
Are closures more concentrated in certain types of dining or neighborhoods, you think? Or do you see them equally throughout?
Well, look, no one wants any restaurant to close. I mean, these are hardworking men and women. Their life, perhaps their life savings, or even investors who are running and investing in restaurants. You don't want to see any restaurant close. It is a typical phenomenon, and not to undermine it or make light of it, but we may have had 36 restaurants closed. We had 100 new restaurants open. And so, again, the numbers are the numbers, and that is a byproduct of the competition. I think this is a tough economy with the food costs. If you were already marginal, barely making it on a margin, thin margins, thin profit margins, all you need is a hiccup, and you're out, right? So that is a painful part of the competitive nature of the business, right? But again, you'll have dozens and dozens every year of new competitors. I think some of the new districts siphon away a few of the visitors that would have perhaps a decade ago gone to South Beach, even though South Beach still has some amazing restaurant opportunities. So it's just the competitive nature of the landscape.
So entering season, finally, I kept telling my chef friends, I'm like, it's okay. It's almost September. It's almost October. You're almost there. Do you feel Miami's on an upswing?
Yeah, so a couple of things. One is we look at advanced bookings with our hotels. And as pleased as we were to kind of finish the year with the number 3 occupancy, when we look at advanced reservations, I never thought I would say this, being stable is good, right? There's so much decline, and we're seeing a lot of downturns for a number of reasons. That's being well discussed around the country, people not coming to the United States, not
from Europe,
visiting the United States, not wanting to be here, et cetera. That's a phenomenon unto itself. I think the popularity of the United States as a brand, I think the popularity of New York, San Francisco, New Orleans, Miami, Orlando will always have to lead its own way. And we're incredibly popular for that matter. So, but when we look at advanced bookings, this fall is very encouraging. More importantly, next year, 2026, is going to be one of the most consequential years we've ever experienced. It starts literally 2 days after New Year's with the NHL National Hockey League Winter Classic, the New York Rangers playing in Lone Depot Park, a baseball stadium, playing our world champion Florida Panthers.
Really?
Big celebration of hockey. And they'll they get the ice frozen.
How do you convert that?
The air condition, turn it way down.
What?
But then right before the puck drops, they'll open and it'll be a major broadcast phenomenon. Hockey's very popular, especially in the north of this country.
Yeah.
College football championship back in Miami. And so the Orange Bowl will still be a quarterfinal game for the best teams in the country. And then the national championship game, the Super Bowl of college football, will be back in Miami in 2026. Then, of course, we have the incredible, whether it's the Miami Open in tennis, the Formula One race, but then this little thing called FIFA World Cup next summer, right? 9 matches, hundreds of thousands of people coming. It's all going to depend on who's placed here. The draw is in December.
Yeah.
And if it's Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, Mexico.
You mean when it's Argentina and when it's Brazil?
Well, they say it's a random draw. We'll see.
Yeah.
But regardless, we're going to have some amazing teams playing here. And then, of course, as the tournament advances, we host a quarterfinal match and then the bronze medal game. So we'll be on a global stage. And you know the success and popularity of, in fact, we just had the Club World Cup last summer. The professional leagues, their World Cup of club play. And Hard Rock Stadium had the highest attendance of any city in the country, with the exception of the final game in New York. And so, but we know the popularity of soccer, especially because of our South American and Latin American influences in Caribbean, right? And Katie bar the door, that's a Georgia phrase. Katie bar the door, if Colombia comes here, right? It's going to be a party 7 days a week.
More than it already is. I mean, it's going to be a continued party. Miami's already there. What's going on? You just reminded me, Inter Miami. Are they still doing a stadium here? I mean,
well underway.
Yeah?
Every time I go to the airport, it's going to be open next year.
That too next year.
New venue, having that in our community as opposed to, we love Fort Lauderdale, but it's great to have that stadium right down the road.
Yeah.
Opens the door for a lot of other big matches.
It is going to be a big year. So going back to Miami Spice, what other initiatives, beyond Miami Spice, are running to support operators?
Well, like I said, it's a constant content distribution of great stories about great chefs, about great neighborhoods, about great lifestyle. That never gets old. And we have so much rich content to choose from, right? So that'll be a continuous thing. Thematically, you go with the different seasons of the year here. We have 4 seasons in Miami. We have football season, basketball season.
In my world, we have Michelin season, we have food season, James Beard season.
But, the seasons give us different subjects to talk about as well. But like I said, food is synonymous with lifestyle.
100%. Next year, when we have the entire state of Florida, so that's going to be interesting, going back to the Michelin conversation, because it's from the Florida Keys all the way to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Let's talk about people.
Well, we, without sounding overly confident, we like our chances that we'll continue to dominate.
I agree.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
I agree. So looking ahead, not next year, so beyond 5 years, what is your vision for Miami's culinary standing globally?
Well, look, like I said, whether it's sports, whether it's competitive industry, whether it's tourism, you want to stay number one. You want to stay on the top of the list. We're there. We're on that rung. We're getting all these accolades, getting all these recognitions of being one of the best. We don't expect to go back, right? We can't go back. Too much is counting on it. But what a platform to be on. What a good problem to have, maintaining our leading role as a major destination, right? Now, generations influence consumer behavior, and we have these multiple new generations that are now getting of age where they're buying homes or not, they're purchasing, starting families or not, going out to dinner or not, drinking or not. And so the consumer behavior of the generations is going to change. We see that, for example, alcohol drinks are being replaced with non-alcoholic drinks in some cultures, mocktails, et cetera. Nothing wrong with that, but it'll change we go through different phases of healthy eating, and protein's good for you, then protein's not good for you, and carbs are good for you.
I grew up on the whole fat-free. Everything had to be fat-free.
Yeah,
even if it had tons of sugar, it's
so
fat-free.
I think the generations do affect the consumer behavior, and will affect what is served on a plate at the end of the day. And so we'll have to continue to monitor those things and monitor the consumer behavior of our visitors. But the chefs know how to respond to that as well, and it's supply and demand phenomenon will never change. Who knows what artificial intelligence is going to portend for the future? Mm-hmm. But it'll be part of people making choices about where they eat. And so again, we're trying to get prepared for how we, as your Greater Miami Convention and Visitor Bureau, tell the story using artificial intelligence and the content that we have at our disposal. And restaurants are going to have to join that battle to be distinguished and stand apart and stand out. And so there'll be a lot of discussion about the technology of finding a restaurant, searching for a restaurant, consuming, ordering. And like I said, home delivery is not going to change. And that has
just the convenience of it,
But
so
like I said,
expensive, but I'm guilty of it.
Look at the profit margins of alcohol. When you go to a restaurant and you buy a glass of wine, the markup is part of the profit. Mm-hmm. And if you're losing those profit margins, you've got to find a new vehicle.
I bring my wine everywhere. Like, hey, I'm here. Especially there's no corkage nights; those are great for me. But then we tip. But yeah, sometimes it's a lot. The markups are a lot, but I see that all around because it's like as a business you want to be able to offer the delivery, but then they're missing that experience in the restaurant, right, which obviously can't be replaced. So it's a necessary evil nowadays.
The smart restaurants know that, and I think they create that ambiance for that reason.
I had a delivery the other day. He was on a bike, and when it actually said, whatever his name was, said he's on your way, and then it said there was a category, method of transportation, which I had never noticed before in my Uber Eats, and it said bicycle or whatever, and they had a picture of him. I ended up tipping way too much because it was also raining, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, just because I wanted sushi, I felt so guilty, like spoiled. I wanted sushi, but hey, he ended up getting really good on a bike.
I hear you. But here's what we know.
Wow.
There's nothing more special than sitting side by side across the table 100%. From someone you care about, someone you love, someone you're trying to impress, somebody you're trying to thank, and that tableside bond, that moment, you can't replace that. And so it's not just the food; it's the friends and family and the environment, the ambiance, and that's what food is. We could inject ourselves with enough proteins to live the rest of our lives,
right,
or tablets.
Yeah.
But having that meal, experiencing, tasting, comparing, pairing with wine, pairing with your favorite drink, celebrating togetherness, then nothing beats it.
I love a leisure dinner. I love nothing more. It's so fun for me. You're right. It's special.
But in these tough times, we really, if we can't take our restaurants for granted. When our friends and relatives come, we want to take them to, let's just say Joe's Stone Crab, for example, right? Who doesn't want to, when their friend comes in from out of town, oh, let's go to Joe's, right? We need Joe's to stay, and of course it's going to do great. But if we want to have those great restaurants that we show off to our friends, we got to support them year round.
Right.
We can't take them for granted.
It's that famous thing when someone announces they close and everyone's like, well, when was the last time you went? Everyone's so sad. Well, did you go?
Exactly.
Did you go?
Well, I mentioned that
Did
to
you
your
support it?
listeners before, right? Think about your favorite restaurant that you haven't been to in 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, Yogi Berra once said, famous New York Yankee with his crazy quotes. He once said, about his favorite restaurant in New York? He said, nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the phenomenon that we have to. But again, what we know is people love great food. And we have some of the best food in the country, if not the world.
Has there been a time where you made changes in response to a diner or restaurant feedback? Or does that happen often, you think?
I think the biggest phenomenon, and we struggled with it a couple of decades ago, was the mandatory tip. Remember when that was first being introduced to the marketplace?
Oh, there's a new thing that rolled out, right?
And so that was really that came out of Europeans and South Americans customarily not tipping.
Right.
It's not their culture. And so we got all these South Americans coming to Miami, and they're historically not tipping. So the restaurants, in response to that, put a mandatory tip, those automatic tips. So that's probably the biggest feedback we get. But now there's a tip on everything. I mean, where do you go and you not swipe your card and it asks for a tip?
Always. But didn't a new law just go into effect?
Well, that's more about the taxation of the tips.
Is it? Okay.
Right, and it's to protect the employee.
But also, doesn't it have to be transparent?
Yeah, of course, and it should be.
It should be, right? Like, what exactly does a health tax mean?
Right,
like,
and you also don't want to, have the tip hidden on the bill, service charge,
No.
and then they bring you the document with the extra tip, right?
Yeah.
But what I've noticed is the best restaurants with the best staff, they're smart. They actually tell you, hey, service is included.
Right.
Because I know, hey, I appreciate your honesty, and I want to give you a little bit more to say thank you.
Yeah. I was just asked to tip on a $6 airport water. I did not tip on this. It took 20. It was a 20-second transaction. Not even. I got the water.
No, you don't. Today you don't swipe your card without. I think I picked up a medication the other day at drugstore and asked for a tip.
Asked for a tip. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was already thinking like this Fiji bottle of water is already like $6, and then he turns the thing around. I'm thinking, and you want tax, and then you want a tip for that for doing your. I mean, I want to say for doing your job, but he just did this 3 times.
Yeah. Well, you're going to get a nasty email from Fiji.
I don't care. But Fiji, if you want to talk, you could be a sponsor on the Web Pilot Podcast.
We love Fiji.
I do love
Popeyes
Fiji.
and Fiji.
That's right. Our next sponsors. If you could send one message to our chefs, restaurateurs, and investors of why Miami, what would that be?
Well, again, we see a lot of chefs have relocated here from other parts of the country. It's that competitiveness, and that's what Nashville is where you go if you want to make it big in music. Mm-hmm. Right, Los Angeles is where you go if you want to make it big in acting. Yeah. Miami has become one of those places. Miami's where you want to go if you want to make it big as a chef. What a great positioning to be in.
Is there such thing as too much, you think?
Supply and demand. To my point earlier about 30 restaurants closing and 100 restaurants opening.
Yeah.
You could get oversaturated easily.
I mean, my inbox is saturated.
Yeah.
I'm like, not another press release. I'm like, oh.
I know. And so oversaturation is a byproduct of the managing of the success and the competitive nature. Day 1, day 201, you've got to be distinctive, you've got to be unique, you've got to be authentic, you've got to stand out, you've got to excel at customer service. And if you do all those things, you have a real shot at being a top restaurant.
In order to make it, because we do suffer from a lot of restaurants coming in thinking I'm such and such. Right. I'm going to make it here. And I'm like,
nope.
Not in Miami.
Not in
It's
Miami.
what you said, keeping it authentic or finding that authentic angle.
Exactly.
Yes. Are there any events coming up that you're excited about?
Well, one just around the corner, especially this time of year for your listeners, is Farmers Month. Here we are.
I think I've heard of that.
Well, it's a great program led by Commissioner Cohen Higgins in her district down in South Dade, Homestead.
Homestead is becoming hot. Speaking of hot neighborhoods.
I mean, they have these amazing farms where you get married and the wedding ceremonies, et cetera. Mm-hmm. But it's also the heartland of our produce, whether it's strawberries, whether it's vegetables. Robert is here is that famous food stand, fresh fruits and vegetables, right? The hardworking farmers who create all of that ultimately farm to table. That's the farm. And so we use that as a celebration of our heritage in South Dade. We use that as a celebration of the farmland and the chefs who are taking advantage of that, and the farm-to-table nature, and also just the cultural influences that has on our food. So Farmers Month there's all kinds of programming. There's a big...
I was going to ask, like events, or what is it, dinners, or just
for the entire month of
down
November. And there's dozens and dozens of activations. Great plug for our website, Miami and MiamiBeach.com. And there's a whole Farmers Month section of activations where people can have a chance to get involved and support the hard-working men and women of our farm workers in South Bay.
Okay, sounds great. We'll have to go down there. Is there anything I haven't covered that you'd like to add?
Just thank you. Love your podcast. Love you.
Thank you.
To your listeners, thank you. Support our chefs. Support our restaurants. If you're listening to this podcast, pick up the phone, call a loved one, invite them out to dinner tomorrow night.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I just encourage you, don't call two at the same time. Just be one. Be selective.
Please. David, thank you again for bringing us your insider perspective. Miami's dining story is still unfolding, and it's a thrill to watch it evolve season after season. And to you, the listener, thank you for tuning in time and time again. Remember to please support the podcast in any way you can. Place an ad here before or midway in an episode, sponsor the upcoming Palette Awards, or simply share your favorites with friends across all social media platforms. This entire operation is just me, yours truly, Party of One, and your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Until next time, thank you.
My pleasure. Bon appetit.
We did it. Easy.